Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing pretty well. I wanted to talk about the next few years because I think in the world it's going to get very rocky. I think there's going to be lots of changes and lots of turmoil, perhaps more earthquakes, tragedies, perhaps more accidents. And I just wanted to talk to you about this because it's going to ramp up for a while and it's part of the healing, like the world has to heal, and the karmic backlash as well that some people are going to have and some countries are going to have. There's nothing we can really do about it, it's just going to happen. And there's new energy coming into the world as well, and it can't exist in this energy, so this energy really needs to go. This is going to have impact on sensitive people like you, because if you're listening to my podcast, I suspect you're quite a sensitive person, probably very intuitive, maybe having all your psychic gifts and your healing gifts. And I want you, instead of getting affected by what you see on television or what's going on around you, to do a more proactive practice, which is to send healing to that area and love to that area. You will find that around you there will be people who are now karmically going to have the backlash of what they've done. The karmic doors closed last year in November, and people then made their choices which way they were going. People who made choices that were selfish and completely all about themselves and also not loving towards other people, will now from this year on will have their karma returned to them. It's their karma, they did it, it's their stuff, but you might have to witness it. And these might be your friends and your family members and other people that you know. I always know when it's karmic with people because it happens to them, and then I know straight away that was karmic, what happened in the situation. I've actually been in situations literally with people, and they felt they weren't being particularly nice to me, and have maybe not behaved very kindly and loving toward me. And then I'll hear about the car broke down, or they hurt their ankle, or they slipped and hit their head or something. And I always think, oh, okay, karmic backlash, karmic quickening. Whatever you're putting out there is coming straight back at you. This is going to happen on a world level too, in areas where countries and groups of people aren't doing very good things. There'll be karmic backlash, and there could be also some karmic nature. So if there's a lot of negative energy in that area, or if it needs to be cleaned up energetically and spiritually, there could be tsunamis or bushfires, storms, floods, etc., earthquakes. These things do happen in every year, but I feel that it's going to escalate, and that's because it's like the last bit of the cleaning up of the world before we go into the next vibration, and it has to be cleaned up. Just don't get too scared. It won't be happening mostly to you. It will be on a larger scale. It will be people who earned their karma, and then it will be other situations and groups of people or countries that have earned their karma, and they will be getting the backlash. So you don't have to get involved in it. It's not your stuff. I always just send healing and love to those areas, and I find that a much more positive and proactive way to do it. It will be something you won't probably be able to speak to other people about unless they're a spiritual person and they have an understanding of karma. They just won't know what you're talking about, but you'll be able to see it. The thing with Russia and Ukraine is karmic. It's a karmic battle, and that you can see straight away is karmic because of the way it unfolded and the way it's going. Its outcome will also be very karmic because the two countries are trying to settle some karma that they've had. In the world, people can be loving and kind and good, or they can be controlling and power hungry and selfish. And there seems to be quite a divide down here right now in the two groups. I feel that the selfish, unloving controllers are about to experience life in a different way for many of them, and the people who've been loving and spiritual and kind are going to be the one who maybe come to the fore, particularly in the next decade, because the world's going to make massive changes. The new energy that's coming in is the love vibration. I've spoken about this before, and this love vibration needs to be coming in now. And there's also a change in the world energetically. And for that to happen, you need to get rid of some of the power and the control around the world. And that's why you will see the countries and governments and people taking up the people power. People will be taking the power back. And also people will be coming from hopefully more love and tolerance and consideration for others. This is what we're really here to learn, how to love and how to serve others, love ourselves, and also love other people and be kind and to be good. Sometimes these situations force people also to be good that are created. If there is a tragedy, people's better side comes out. They open up their hearts, give money, send money. People go and help. Other countries send aid and act in a loving and a kind way. These situations can actually help us grow and open up the heart chakra, and that's the chakra that's actually opening up wider as well. We're trying to open up the heart chakra of the earth, because the earth has a heart chakra, and also the heart chakra of mankind. And that will hopefully send messages all around the world, so we'll be more kind and loving to one another and then to animals. And I think we're going to see a lot of changes, how we treat animals, how they're looked after. People are going to come to the fore with that. And also our nature and plants and the trees and the sea. It won't just be self-interest, it'll be to heal the earth, doing that work as well. So there's going to be a lot of healing. People are going to come forward and there will be new inventions and new ways to tackle some of the mess we've made and to clean it up. It's kind of like going to be a great big clean up, really. So stand on the edge of it and watch it. Don't get too affected by it. It's necessary, it has to happen. And all we can do is support the healing in the ways that we can do it. In your internal world, in your little world, I think you can be more loving and kind and tolerant to others, and to encourage others to be likewise, to come from the heart, to take care of each other and be kind to each other and show compassion, because what we do always affects another 20 or 30 people, how we behave. And that's because wherever we are, if we're carrying the light and carrying the love, we can affect the person at the grocery shop, or the guy who's helping us at the petrol station, or the person who's delivering the mail, or the next door neighbour. We can give the love and send the love and healing all over the place. When people receive it, they often then also pass it on. So every bit of love and kindness and generosity and compassion you give to a person helps them to also be more kind and compassionate and loving, because they know what it feels like to have that person be so loving and kind to them. We're sort of like modelling it in a sense. Next few years are going to be rocky. Don't get too worried about it. It's a process that has to go through, but send lots of love and healing to those areas, and in your prayers as well. And if you've got people around you who you know are having a little bit of karmic backlash, you send healing and prayers to them as well. Hopefully they learn from their experiences, because obviously they didn't learn the lesson that they set up for themselves, so they've set up new lessons to teach themselves to come more from those places. And while they're doing their lessons, so to speak, we'll also be having our own lessons. So you might find karmically you'll be also burning some karma, and then we can all teach each other and support each other. So keep positive, even though it's going to get rocky. Just keep positive. Don't let it all get you down. If you find it difficult, just don't watch the news so much. I pretty much don't watch the news, because it's not good news of these days. And I think that it's okay. I don't find it's an addition to my life, so I tend not to watch it all the time. I used to live with someone who'd watch the news 7 times a day. It was actually the same news, I'd say to them, but they kept watching it. And I just do the snippets of the news, so I'll just do an overrun every now and then, so I'm actually living in the real world, but I don't watch the news. And that might be a way that you can also insulate yourself from being negatively affected by what's happening. So I hope you have a lovely week, and I'm sending you lots of love and lots of light.